Good day to one and all. This is Dr. Sivaraman of iknowindices.com. Let me display the PowerPoint presentation. Asian session live market analysis on new month October 4th between 5 and 5:30 GMT. We will track the market using the live market quote page. You can view the market using the live market quote page link what I have given. Open the web page in a browser. You will be able to see the live market quote page. I'll also focus the camera over there of the live market quote page. Currently, euro is trading around 1.3760, 1.3762. The low is 1.3747. The high is 1.43807. And the net change is shown wrongly. I think they are not adjusted the net change in this particular live market quote page. So because of that, it is showing about 126 pips positive net change. But actually, euro has made a drop from that of Friday close. So in order to know the net change, I will open the streaming quote page from the FX Street. There the net change can be seen. So I will just minimize this window and focus the camera over that of the FX Street live market quote page. You can see here, euro is trading around 1.3763, 1.3767. The net change is 38 pips negative. And in the case of GBP, 1.5811, 1.5813 are the current level. It is about 12 pips positive net change. And yen is trading around 83.56, 83.61, about 35 pips positive net change is seen. CHF is trading around 0.9776, 0.9778, about 41 pips positive net change is seen. And Australian dollar is trading around 96.95, 97.01, about 31 pips negative net change is seen. And in the case of Canadian dollar, it is trading around 1.0184, 1.0190, about 4 pips negative net change is seen. So all come across here as the USD gaining move in a very nominal way, excepting GBP. And so what could be the possible moves we can expect from today? And this is a new month, so we could come across some important events are to be released in the first week. So how exactly we are going to take positions, or we are deriving the market in line with that of the what could be the possible moves. So we will just go through that of today's forecast. I will focus the camera over that of the PowerPoint presentation and show you the slide with regard to the expected market moves for today. So during the Japanese session, swing and rise moves are expected. So both euro and GBP are expected to gain towards close of the Japanese session. And then during the European session, a quick firming up move from the start and further rise during the European session are the expected moves. And little bit of drop or a slide could be seen towards close of the European session just for about 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and from there again during the US session, swing and spike moves are expected. So it is a month beginning time. So new month already started on Friday, but now it is a fresh week. So in this particular week, you come across the data release like DOE and the ECB interest rate decisions and also non-farm payrolls. So market is expected to make volatile moves during this particular period. And what are the expected moves in this particular week? Let me explain. Today is 4th of October. So we could come across swing and gain moves. And tomorrow we could come across sideways moves in the market. So the volatile moves could continue tomorrow also. Then from Wednesday onwards, we could come across the market exhibiting further spikes. So Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, we could come across significant gains in the case of Euro and GBP. And before that, during that of the 5th, 6th, and 7th, we could come across the denominator currencies first gaining the levels along with that of the numerator currencies. So as a result, you will find that due to contrarian moves, initially the denominator currencies are expected to gain and hold the levels, and subsequently the numerator currencies are expected to gain levels from that of midweek. So you will come across the contrarian moves are to be established very well during this particular week. So let us analyze with regard to the initial lows and the highs with respect during the day. Between 2:30 and 3:30, the initial lows and the highs have been taken and they are being displayed here. 1.3747 was the initial low and 1.3807 is the initial high. Both are intact, they are not breached. Market looks subdued and you might come across suddenly the gaining towards the close and also during the European session. So people will be thinking that the market may not have the strength and probably those who are holding long positions might book profit and turn short, and probably some of the levels could be considered as the strong resistance and the market is not able to breach this resistance. This sort of stories could be created, and subsequently you will find that at ease such resistance levels are to be breached and the market is expected to go higher. And also you come across many of the analysts are giving the view that market is in overbought conditions, and you know very well, I have been telling it many times that when the market shows oversold condition at the lower level, people used to think that okay, probably this could be the turnaround point for the market to rise, but it used to show the downward move, and then probably people might be realizing that it is not the oversold or overbought conditions of the total market. It depends upon whether the players are overbought or the traders are overbought. So that sort of discrimination is not available in the conventional statistical analysis. So now you come across the overbought condition in the case of Euro, then probably you can question whether the players are overbought or the traders are overbought. So if the traders are overbought, obviously the market could correct. But if the players are overbought, then they are there to book profit only with regard to their buy positions at the lower level. So they are expected to make further buys and gain the levels and only then book profit with regard to their buy position. So there is a clear-cut demarcation between the overbought conditions, whether it is the overbought condition of the traders or the small traders or other traders in the market, or it is of the players. So that sort of discrimination is very essential in order to project further moves of the market. Then in the case of GBP, 1.5775, 1.5824 are the lows and the highs. They are intact, and 5776. Then in the case of CHF, 0.9736, 0.9785 or the low and the high, they are also intact. And Japanese yen 83.23 and 83.85 are the lows and the highs, they are also intact. And Australian dollar 96.92 and 97.30 are the lows and the highs. So both are intact. And Canadian dollar 1.0192 was the low that has been breached to form 1.0188, and the high is 1.0205, and that is intact. So you come across overall Subdued moves in the market, excepting Canadian dollar. No other currency has breached either the high or the low. So what is the intentions of the player? They are trying to consolidate here, and those who have got the buy positions to feel it is better to liquidate the profit making position later on when the market drops, they can re-enter into the market. This sort of feel they want to create for that of the traders, and also some traders could try to take sell positions during the drop. This is a normal condition. So whenever the support turns to a resistance, and immediately the traders could go in for a breakout trade and then try to sell after the drop and also try to buy after the gain. That is normal phenomenon you come across among many of the traders. So their players will try to induce such traders to take the positions, either the lower level sell or the higher level buy, and subsequently they are expected to take the market upward. So that is based on the forecast. So still the intention is not being revealed in the market for us to make the market reading, excepting Canadian dollar, which has made a nominal bit below that of the initial low. So let us observe during the day how exactly they are taking up the market from here. So I'll answer to the questions which are asked here. So I'll focus the camera over the live market quote page. So currently you see that euro coming closer to the low 1.3747 and GBP in the middle level and yen is also in the middle level and CHF is closer to that of the high and they are expected to gain the level. Subsequently, you could come across the rise in the case of numerators as well. Then Canadian dollar, which has breached the low, which is holding near that of the low, and Australian dollar is also holding closer to that of the low. So low is 96.92, and they are just keeping an ask 96.92. You just see how exactly they are handling it during this particular time frame in another 30 minutes. From there, you will be able to understand their intentions very clearly. The commodity pairs they are trying to act now. Probably they may show negative net change in Australian dollar as well as Canadian dollar to start with as a contrarian move, and then subsequently have to handle the crosses like Euro GBP and Euro CHF and also the yen crosses. Then subsequently they are expected to make the USD weakening move as a continuation of the move. And Francisco has got a question. Euro and GBP might rise again, but Euro seeing still better supported than GBP. Is this sentiment to last? No, you know that in order to create the market sentiment from time to time, they use GBP as an instrument to create the market sentiment. Whenever, see, other day, you know that GBP came down to 1.5727, probably below that to 1.5696, and immediately, which has created a bearish feel, and many traders would have taken a sell position in Euro, thinking that GBP has dropped, whereas Euro has not dropped. So it is better to sell Euro so that it is also expected to follow GBP in line with the sentiment created. But actually they gain the levels afterwards. So that is how they create the sentiments using GBP. But they are expected to gain more levels in the case of GBP unassumingly in this particular week. So also if you come across Euro GBP, which has come to that level of 0.87, and you know that they went up to that level of 0.8749 as an extended upward stop, and they are holding around 0.87. And so this is mainly to induce those who have got the short positions to go in for a short covering, and then subsequently they are expected to show the other way move. So you have to understand one thing with regard to the crosses, they make one-sided moves for several days. So if you are trading in crosses, you should have enough equity, and also you should have a stop or a hedging order to limit the risk Only then you will be able to withstand such pressure. Not like Euro and GBP where you can come across more volatile moves for you to enter and exit. Then grow. Could you see the low of the week in GBP? Yes. The GBP is almost around that of the low now for the entire week. Then Euro specialist. Euro GBP this week. Last week they have been gaining levels in the case of Euro GBP. They could consolidate around that of the high 80, 86.50 to 87 area. They will try to drop and quickly reverse back and drop about 50-60 pips and quickly reverse back. So that sort of move they are expected to make. It's nothing but a pump and dump move. So they try to build sell positions, holding at a higher level. So immediately if you sell, you may not be able to get very big profit. But if you take a sell position, try to keep stop at entry so that once a position makes profit, keep stop at entry so that when they hit the stop again, then you will have a better level to enter in the market. And once the last stop is not being hit in your sell position, then probably you will be able to get the maximum profit out of that. These are all some of the strategies for you to fine tune your trade and get the maximum profit out of the market moves. But many of the traders, they try to do swing trades for aiming about 20-30 pips profit, and that may induce you to do sell and buy and subsequently buy and sell trade. And if you do either way trade as a swing trade, when they increase the spread on the high upside as well as on the downside, then you will come across such moves will really give a panic reaction. What is the low expected for this week? So, Euro could hover around that of 1.37 and then subsequently it is expected to gain. And those with 20k equity, what is your advice regarding on size or lot? So I have been mentioning in the My Trading System webinar and other places also that if you have got low equity, less than $30,000, then try to take only one mini lot at a time and try to book profit in that and then try to go in for another mini lot. So you might think that you will be earning only $30-40 or about $100 even if you gain about 100 pips. But it is better than losing thousands of dollars just like that. So you know how hard it is or difficult it is to earn that $20,000. So if you realize that, then you will not speculate and you will be cautiously trading and you will be able to fulfill your objective of earning money from that other market rather than becoming addicted to trading. Then women, I am trying to understand from lesson 6 where we are in the trading zone range. I think we may be middle level about the move up in the higher level trading zone. Yeah, it is in the middle level now. It is expected to go up to that of the higher trading zone. Before that, you will come across the non-trading zone quickly. So they may just gain one-sided for about 200 to 300 pips and they may not revisit at all. And that will indicate that they are shifted to that of the higher trading zone. Then Apple, you put out a 4-column market timing chart. Which timings are in place now? So now you come across the standard time. No, there is no, the daylight saving time. Now daylight saving system is in practice. So it will get over by end of this month. Then subsequently you can follow the other timings. Anyhow, I'll be giving in the webinars, in subsequent webinars, and also in my display in the blog, what timings to be followed from time to time. So you will have very little work to play with. And Rob, are you expecting false move today? No, it is just the first week of the month, so you'll come across more of a volatile move in the market rather than just a false move. False move is they just drop and hold it near that as a low, but that sort of move they are not expected to do. They may drop and quickly reverse it back. In DTPT, USD CHF, how low could it go today? See, they are just buying it around 0.97 area, and probably this week you could come across a good gain in the case of USD CHF to about 0.99 area or to parity. Further downside move is very limited in the case of USD CHF. For USD CHF, do you expect it to go above parity by end of year? That is what I answered. Then Sri, I just joined the webinar. GBP USD has gone above the initial high more than 20 minutes. Then we consider shorting it here. No, that is not the way to trade. We are talking about GBP. GBP has not gone above that of the initial high, if I am right. Now you have to look into that of the live market code page, what is the high and what is the low, where exactly the current market is. So they are hovering around in the middle level. This is not the time to take position. Probably when they come closer to that of the low, you can buy, or when they come closer to that of the high, you can take a sell if they are not breached it. USDN this week. So USDN is expected to consolidate here and gain some levels, and you may not come across a very significant level in the case of USD CHF in a short term. And probably, in FX Trade, it has been displayed in the home page and also in the technical page that the forecast given by some of the analysts with regard to only levels. So probably you can go through that and have an overall picture. What could be the possible level the currencies could achieve? They are all nothing but the derivations using various techniques, and you may have to wait and see whether they are being fulfilled by the market or the market has got its own answer. We won't be knowing. So probably you can go through that and have an idea about this particular week and also this month and also this quarter. I also displayed the link for that in my home blog page. Then what is your forecast for gold? Gold is expected to hover around that 1300 area, and probably during this particular week they are expected to initiate the slide. Before that you could come across more of pump and dump moves, so you just wait for such pump and dump moves to get over, then subsequently you can short. If you try to short initially, then you won't be knowing whether the pump and dump move or exhausted. Then always keep stop at entry when the position makes profit, or if the position is not making profit for 2 hours, try to close it. That sort of trading strategy is needed in order to carefully handle gold position. Then Janpoko, USD CAD, it breached the low and is there now for more than 30 minutes. Should we buy? So USD CAD, it has breached the low, and if it comes above that of the initial low 1.0192 and stay there for more than 30 minutes, you can make a buy. Otherwise, when the new low has not been breached for 30 minutes also, you can buy. Then equities, what is your view? So equities are expected to gain levels in this particular month. Rupal. From now, which trading zone you are expecting for GBP? I mean 1.60 to 1.70 area? Yes, that is a potency. Probably it has been explained over the period of time in the forecast page, what has been displayed in the home page of FX Trade. There you can come across some of the analysts are expecting GBP to go up, including me. Above, after the downside, what are the expected moves? Downside moves will be there, obviously, intraday swings will be there, but the downside move could be limited. They may do sporadically second week or third week, some extended downward stop, and that is the way they just do it and then subsequently gain quickly the levels again. So such times you try to, and you will come across a V-shaped move. So within 30 minutes, they will try to drop about 100, 150 pips and reverse it, probably a knee-jerk reaction, and then go higher above that of their day, high set for the day, and go further up. And that is how they make the extended stop it. So probably they can make use of the data release time, or they can simply release a rumor and try to achieve such objectives. Then donkey. Would you suggest that USD CHF is a good buy? As far as USD CHF is concerned, it is good as a long-term buy, but not for intraday trading. And so it might be a patient testing game. So if you enter into that of the denominators and see that some amount of money is being allotted for it and you are not expecting the profit in a few days, instead you will wait for the profit target to be achieved. If that is the objective, then probably you can initiate buy position. Then once the buy is taken, try to keep stop at entry so that you will not be hit badly. Then as for DP, USDN, how do you expect the trend? USDN, they are expected to slowly swing and gain the levels in this particular week, but not a very significant gain could be seen. They may come to 85 or 85.50 here. That range again then visit back to that of 83 area. They are consolidating here and inducing all the people to sell, and they are the buyers. Then Gregor. If we strongly simplify situation, are we heading towards levels of 2007, 2008 in currency? Yeah, that is possible. Then Euro Yen went above 115 and now it is midpoint. What is the expected trend? See, as far as the Yen crosses are concerned, it is expected to gain levels in relation to that of Euro and GBP. So when Euro goes up, Euro Yen could also go up. When Euro comes down a little bit, Euro Yen could also come down. So similarly, GBP USD with that of GBP Yen. So that is what many of the occasions I have said, that instead of taking position in Yen crosses, one can probably think of taking positions in Euro or GBP because same quantum of profit you are expected to make. MBB, is it possible that Euro USD will have quick stop and downward? No, they may do it during this particular week anytime, but not in the week beginning time. They will try to induce the traders to initially take positions. Then only they will try to bring in the volatility. Then DDPT, USDN at current level, a buy for holding till month end for sell. Current level is alright, it's about 30 pips from that of the low, but you should be able to use all your money management practice to hold it. Then grow. With the slide in gold, the start of the large correction. Yeah, the large correction is expected, but after only building sell positions at current levels. So don't immediately expect a drop. So they will consolidate here, swing around higher level consolidation with an upward stop, and then only they will try to slide. It is similar to that of the currencies what you come across, and also in the case of stock market. So at the lowest level, at the highest level, they will take a prolonged consolidation, induce the traders to change the mindset and try to do the stop-ins On the higher level, the upward stop, and at the lower level, the downward stop. So just create the feel to the traders. Sell and buy trade is no good, then subsequently drop. But they are the sellers at that time. So they create the market sentiment and act against that of the traders. That you have to keep in mind. Then, do you see any more interventions from BOJ? See, I don't think that the BOJ is willing to do that intervention or bring in the story of intervention very frequently. And so they are the beneficiaries at the time, so they are not very keen on it, I suppose, because they get the currency strength. Probably you might be thinking that it is worrying them, but actually, if you see that it is hovering around this level for a long time, the exporters and the importers are not being affected much. So those who had done the export about 6 months back or 1 year back might face some problem. Otherwise, if they are doing it on a daily basis and receiving the money on a daily basis, they don't come across much of a currency fluctuations. And you know that exporters have got a facility to go in for a forward cover. So whatever the money I show, and they will be able to get it. So simply, if somebody says that exporters might be hurt and things like that, please review it objectively. Do you see USD yen rising from this week? Yeah, DTPT, there is a potential USD yen to rise in this week. There is DP. Do you expect USD yen to fall below that current level for intraday? So they could make a downward stop, and so you cannot rule out. But initially they had done it, so probably they may make a brief downward stop and then go up during session change. Then Francisco. Observe on Monday and trade on Tuesday or Wednesday till Friday can make things easier. You are right. So if you allot one day for just observation and see how exactly the traders are committing positions, then you will be able to easily understand which way they intend to take the market and accordingly can commit positions. Then 3. Can you please spend 1 minute explaining high and low concept for euro for today? So euro, the high is 1.3807. They formed it and subsequently met the drop. About 50 pips swing has been seen, 1.3747. So below that of 1.33750, they made a brief stop, and above that of 1.38, they made a brief stop. So in this particular trading zone, they are making the moves. On currently, they are holding it near the low, and they are expected to hold here and slowly gain the levels towards close of the Japanese session and start gaining the levels during the European session. So when they are closer to low and not breach the low, you can take a buy and keep a hedging order 30 pips below. And once the position makes profit, keep stop at entry. Then, Irwin, now do you think that the Japanese exporters hedged the yen going up like 6 months ago, their future contracts? See, as far as the exporters, they're taking forward contracts for a long-term contract. They've got their strategies. So don't think that they will simply take the forward contract and then simply suffer and things like that. They've got a swap facility and they've got other facilities also. So let us not discuss about it because obviously I am trying to give here the concepts with regard to the small traders, how they can do the swing trade and earn money from that of the market. Then Rob, are you expecting GBP low to be broken further today? So I don't think GBP low they may breach. Probably they may do by a few pips, but not much. Jason, how about Australian dollar? Australian dollar, we find that they breached the low. Earlier it was 0.9692 and subsequently they formed 0.9687 as the low. And they are holding around that. Probably they make cut it by 1 or 2 pips, and then subsequently they are expected to gain the levels, then grow. Will GBP USD be the better one to trade this week, in that the Euro USD will not have a big rise? No, it is not like that. Alternatively, they will gain the levels in both. So initially they gained the levels in the case of Euro last week. Because of that, Euro GBP has gone up, and GBP crosses have suffered on the lower side, and they would have accumulated the long positions there, and subsequently they want to gain more levels in the case of GBP and try to book profit. So obviously, for that particular purpose, in order to handle the majors as well as the crosses, they alternatively gain the levels in the case of Euro and GBP. This is one of the tactics to handle the crosses. So that you have to keep it in mind. So it doesn't show permanently the strength and weakness of any currency pair. So probably you know that whenever a currency is struck, immediately people will start talking that it doesn't have the strength to go up, and as if it is inanimate or it can move on its own. So none of the currencies can move on its own unless and otherwise somebody buys or somebody sells. So these are all certain perceptions they create without understanding how badly it can affect the trading ideas of the traders. But according to me, they are misnomers. No, because no currency can move on its own; it has to be moved. So players try to move it in such a way so that the sentiments are being created in the market, and then they act against. So that you have to keep it in mind. So whenever they make a quick drop, you have to understand that they are trying to drop and create the market sentiment, and they are the buyers. So during the drop, you think that okay, it is like a falling knife, so it is very difficult to catch and things like that. So those who have done such catching, you might be knowing that how they would have been rewarded. So when Euro was around 1.26, 1.27, and if they would have just taken the buy positions and waited, they would have earned about 1,000 pips. So that is how the market works. So if you understand the overall picture of the market, then it is easy for you to trade intraday. If you only focus on the intraday, then your mindset will get altered very badly. You will become bullish, bearish, and things like that, and you will ultimately get confused. Then Euro CHF. What is your view? Euro CHF has gained the level from that of 1.28, 1.34 level now. They might make intraday dips, but they are expected to gain the levels. And they could make some contrarian moves, gaining levels in the case of Euro and gaining levels in the case of CHF. Now you find that they are dipping Euro little bit, and they come almost closer to kind of the low, and CHF, they are not reached the high. So this is how they are making a dip in the case of Euro CHF. Then subsequently you will find that CHF is expected to gain levels first, then followed by that Euro will also gain levels. Yeah. Should I now wait 30 minutes before taking a position in Australian dollar? Yes, obviously. Wait for 10 to 30 minutes. So if you are experienced trader, then within 10 minutes you will be able to read that situation. And just because I am telling don't do the trade, then you don't have any commitment. So unless and otherwise you perceive it correctly, don't try to enter in the market. Simply listening to others and taking positions, then you will be tempted to yell at the other person if the trade goes wrong. So that approach you should get rid of, and you should be able to decide, okay, these are all the concepts. Based on the concepts, I am taking the positions. I only taken the guidance from some of the analysts, and the responsibility of the trade is mine. So that is how you should be able to develop your mindset. Then you will be able to focus on the trade correctly. Use all the concepts what are being taught in my trading system, when the position is taken, how exactly the hedging has to be placed, and also when the hedging is filled, how exactly it has to be handled, and when the position is making profit, how to move the stop at entry. These are all the steps one can focus on, and how to maximize the profit by trailing the stop and also keeping a limit. Then Jan Poco, we are not tracking Euro GBP daily high low, but the pair seems to be pretty high and not gone down. So last week they have been gaining in the case of Euro GBP, and slowly from that of 0.84 level, they come to that level of 0.87 level. And this is how they just trap the traders by gaining continuously level in the case of Euro and holding GBP around 1.58. They were able to achieve it. And this week, when you come across more gains in the case of GBP and less gain in the case of Euro, then automatically you will come across the reversal move. So this is how they handle it, and as I explained that they are expected to make one-sided moves during such month and time and new month beginning time. So only if you use hedging, then you will be able to participate in the market either way, capture the profit on either side of the moves. So the questions are all over. So let me focus the camera over that of the PowerPoint presentation again. So the expected market moves for today, Japanese session, swing and rise move. So they are near that of the low still. So let us see how exactly they are rising it to a close of that session and firm up, and further rise is expected during European session. In US session, swing and spike up moves are expected. It is month in time, so they can make volatile moves, and they can either make the upward volatile move or the downward volatile moves. So keep that in mind and trade carefully using the hedging order to limit the risk. So with regard to the initial lows and the highs, still the initial lows and the highs are not breached in most of the currencies excepting USD CAD. So now USD CAD has come above that of the initial low 1.0192 as expected. Within 30 minutes they are gainer. So you could come across more of a contrarian move today. So keep that in mind accordingly. Take your trading decision. So I take this opportunity to thank FX Trade and also thank you people who have come here to listen to my webinar talk. And we'll meet again tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'll present the forecast in the blog market reading and also answer to the questions which are asked in the blog pertaining to that of the expected market moves. Thank you one and all. See you tomorrow.